What is up, DJ Army Nethervvoid, also known as John, doing more DungeCraft for you today. More bees. I was actually going to do something else, but I'm having a problem with my bees. And first of all, I want to talk about mutations a little bit. As you can see, my soul frames are getting pretty jacked up. I've actually only been running one of these mutation apiaries. The problem I'm having, and now see, look at this. I've got cultivateds, and I'm using these impregnated frames, 5 honeycombs. All my bee areas have these impregnated frames. I'm getting a lot more mossy cobble, which is really mossy cobble. Mossy combs and now regular combs with my cultivated bees here. Been doing some bee breeding. And that's going to help me a lot for the next thing I want to do, which I'm going to have to do it now rather than wait. The problem I'm having is, let's analyze this cultivated, okay? I'll show you what I'm doing. Let's go put this in the centrifuge though first to get this sucker running, so we can get some more honey. And you can see my honey production is going up pretty good, and that's all due to those impregnated frames. If I didn't have that, my honey would not be where it is, because you do have to analyze these bees if you want to get better bees. To go over really quickly what I was talking about before, to make so there's 3 stages. For the first bee, you want to end up with these cultivated bees. That's the first step to unlock all the other bees. At least for honey production, and to get your alvearies, which you need royal honey to do that, or royal jelly, I think it's called. And you have to have royal line of bees, which you have to get to the cultivated first before you can get to the royal bees. So to go over the genetics of the first line again, which I did a really poor job the first time, you're going to want to cross over 2 of the just natural bees that are in the natural environment. So you can see meadows here, cross it with a wintry or a marshy, pretty much a forest, a meadows, and a marshy, and I think or one of the desert ones. Those are the bees you want to cross to get the common bees. Now, once you have a common princess or common drone, again cross it back with a natural formed bee, a natural occurring bee, to get these cultivated line, okay? When I used by using this soul frame, I did jump ahead from regular natural bees right to cultivated. I actually had to cross them again to get the common, because now from cultivated, I need to cross it with a common drone to try to get the next line, industrious, and the other one is the noble bees. So anyway, but the problem I'm having is these cultivated bees. I actually crossed my marshy bees with meadow bees. Now, meadow bees do not like jungle environments, and they're actually, let's go look at them very quickly. Let's see if I've got one that I've already analyzed a little bit. They don't like, let's see, let me see. No. I really don't want to use up, oh well, let's just use up some a drop of honey. It's not that big of a deal. They don't like the marshy biomes, and they have no tolerance. They have to be it's kind of funny. They have to be in a normal humidity and normal temperature, okay? They have no tolerance at all. The meadow bee, or I'm sorry, the marshy bees have some tolerance on both directions. And I'm not going to analyze them because actually I already have some analyzed. Let's get these guys working again though. Since I'm manually doing this, I want to make sure I can keep up this production here. So the problem I'm getting with my cultivated bees is sometimes I'm getting recessive meadow genes that make my cultivated bees not want to play nice in this marshy environment. So let's look at this cultivated princess that just popped out of my cultivated line over there that I'm using to produce lots of honey, because I got a fast mutation on the gene here. And I've successfully bred this bee to be pure as far as fast in the areas I want. Mushroom, shortest, fast. So there will be no mutations with this bee. But if you look at the tolerances here, you see it's got the marsh tolerances. It's got the meadows normal, right? But it's got the marsh tolerance for humidity and temperature. So that's kind of what I wanted. If this gets mixed in with more meadows gene and it goes to 0, no tolerance, I can't run this cultivated princess in this biome, and so you end up having to move your whole operation to some other area. So it's nice that I think I've successfully pretty much bred that out of them. You can see these all are exactly the same. The purest form of this bee is what you want for your production stuff. that you do not want it to mutate. And see, since these are all, this drone and the princess are exactly the same on active and inactive, I should never get a mutation here. And that's what you want on your production line bees. What I've been doing is making sure, see, I don't want, oh, this is pollination for tree breeding, which we'll do later. There's a slight mutation there, which I want to get rid of. I don't want to have that. I don't want any kind of mutations here. And I'm about to get attacked. And I don't have a sword. Oh, I do. Okay, here we go. Let's get some lag or something? How's this guy hitting me? Here, let's just do this. This is odd. Alright, hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I guess I had some problems with that my connection to the server. So that's why and I'm trying to breed out all of these different mutations here. And so I've done that, and I have actually, I'll show you the bee that actually kind of messed with me here. This cultivated queen, if we look at what she's got on her, and that's why I got rid of this bee, is she's got some mutations. You can see there, she's not pure at all. She's got no tolerance here for humidity. So she won't even, I can't even breed her here no matter what. I can't run her at all. So I'm glad I had to get another cultivated bee, and I'm glad I did that. And it was successful because now I have a cultivated line again. It's very hard to get more princesses. So you really gotta have the right bees. You know what I mean? So let's look. I want to make sure I don't put the wrong drone in there. And this is why you want to analyze these drones. Okay, that's the drone I don't want. I want the other drone. This one, it's most pure. The more you put together pure lines, the purer it gets, and then you don't really have to worry about it because the drones are pretty much the exact same. So let's put that bee away, and we're putting more of those bees away. Now, the next thing I want to do, extra bees allows you to take, you're not just it's not up to chance with stuff. You can do some stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. With extra bees, it's not left up to chance on what kind of genetics you have on your bees. You can actually alter those genetics. You can pick up a genetic mutation that you really like fast production, and create a serum of that trait and pass it on to other bees that don't have it. And that's a really nice way to get your production bees to be exactly the way you want them. Fast producing, long life, those kind of things. Able to work in any environment is really nice as well. Able to work in the darkness, all those kinds of things. So, but what you're going to need first is we're going to need to automate this bee production so we can build up a lot of honey, and then we're going to build up a lot of genetic material, which we're going to use these extra bees to basically process into raw genetic materials so we can create all that stuff I was talking about with extra bees. But first, we need to squeeze the extra honey we have that we don't need right away to use in the bee analyzer. We need to squeeze that honey to try to get propolis. So let's take about half. Let's leave myself with 10 drops of this honey, and we're going to put the rest in the squeezer here. But what we're going to do, well, let's start squeezing that. Hopefully we'll get some propolis. Propolis is a byproduct of squeezing honey. It should show up, I think, here. That should be where the extra shows up. Now we're getting a lot of honey in there, so I'm going to make a tank to capture all that honey, is what I'm going to do right now. So let's do that. Let's make another tank down here. We're also going to need probably two valves on this tank, because we're going to have to do in and out on this tank as well. And first, let's go cut a hole in the ground over here underneath our squeezer. There we go. So it pretty much needs to be right here. Why don't we put it against this wall, I guess. We can make this one a little bigger. Although, I don't think we really need a huge area. Why don't we just do it like this? Just like we did our other one here. I could probably sink that into the ground, but it's fine the way it is. I'm not really worried about it. Alright, I don't think I have enough. We might need more of these wall tanks. Yeah, I know we're going to. Yeah, let's go. I'll go make some more. Hold on, I'll go to the railcraft room. Alright, back and resupplied with more tank blocks here. So we got 2 there. We're going to make this is going to be a full thing, huh? But we're going to put a valve here, just like we did with the other tank. So let's put, we might as well start putting these gauges in. Let's see. Gauges there, and here. and then we're going to put a valve in the front to draw the honey out with. So we'll put it, let's see, the honey's going to be needed. We have to analyze the bees before we send them into the genetic, the grinder basically, and it's actually I think called a grinder because you get a lot more genetic material out of those bees if you analyze them first. But we can't analyze them automatically with a beealyzer, or I mean, can't automate the analysis because the beealyzer is something you use by hand. So we're going to have to do something like, let's see, more Liquiducts. We're going to have to do an automated way to do that, and Extra Bees actually has something that will do that. So we're going to need to, where are we hooking this up? Right there? There we go. And, okay. Draw it over to here. And we need a really good, you know, I think if I put a thing there, it will turn that on. But actually, it probably won't, will it? And if I put the grinder there, that's okay. Let's not. Let's not put the grinder there. Let's make a lever. Where? Okay, that's interesting. I don't have any digger's backpack. I don't have any cobble on me. Oh yeah, I do. I don't have any cobble. I got a whole thing full of it. Okay, here we go. Let's do 2 levers, right? Because we're gonna have to go in and out with this thing. One to go in, one to go out. So let's put levers here. Okay, cool. Let's just put a lever on this. Oops, nope, we don't want 2 levers. Oh God, we need to. I'm having a hard time with this jetpack, guys. All right, there we go. And we need the wrench. I thought I had my wrench out. Apparently I don't. Hold on a sec. Let's get that wrench out. Should just leave it out and remember that I usually need it. Alright, so we're going to go, let's see. Let's hook this up to here before we get any liquid in there. We're not going to do this. Let's see. Man. So we're not going to need this lever, obviously. It might actually screw some stuff up. Okay, let's hit this thing with the wrench and say, go ahead and pump. Okay, now we have a honey tank. Nice. Now we're going to be pumping that honey into the next machine up here, which will be the grinder. I haven't even actually made that machine, actually. Let's see, grinder. Or I'm sorry, we need an analyzer, don't we? Well, first, none of that really matters. We need to make sure we get some propolis first, so we can automate this bee production so I can get a lot more honey, because I'm going to need tons of honey to do what I'm about to do. And we can replace this. So let's do that. Let's see. There we go. Now you can't even tell. We did not get any propolis. So what I'm going to do, I only really need 2 of them. I'm going to keep working this until I get some propolis. And I'm going to analyze this just because I'm not sure if I actually have a pure species here. I want to make sure that I've got some pure bees, so I don't, because I'm really working this cultivated line. I want to get some more cultivated because they produce a nice amount of honeycombs and other things, and they don't produce as much, the mossy and all that stuff. I really would love a full line of cultivated and start working them up. Let's see. So we're going to put this in here. All right. So I only need 2 propolis to make 8 apiaries pipes. So I will be back when I have those. Hold on a second, guys. So for some reason Fraps didn't record. I recorded a lot of stuff. I'm just going to show you what I did. One thing I did is went to an age I made that's all swamp just to get some more marshy princesses, because every time you want to make a new line, like I have one cultivated branch over here that's fully automated, or that's pure, and actually I have it automated now. But every time I want to make another cultivated line, I need to start off with a natural princess. So the only way to get those, since every time a queen dies you only get 1 princess, is to go out and harvest more hives. Now for me specifically, I have to get these marshy princesses to start with because I am starting in a jungle biome. So that kind of screws me up a little bit. It's a lot harder to get these marshy princesses than it is to get a lot of the other types of bees. So I did get a bunch of those. Also found a DungeCraft dungeon, pretty nice. So after squeezing about 40 drops of honey or so, I did get 3 propolis, and I went in to create the apiaries pipes and noticed that after you make the 8 diamond pipes with 2 diamonds and a piece of glass, the 2 propolis only gets you 1 apiaries pipe. So you can see here, I got one pipe out of it. The way I set this thing up is to say any bees can go up this white line and refill my apiary here. Once it's filled with bees, it should not send any more bees up this direction, and then everything can go down the red line, which is anything, and end up in this chest here. I already pulled the combs out, and so now this should be a fully automated apiary. I shouldn't have to screw around with it. It should just keep filling itself up and be good to go. Now, I think it's dark right now, so yeah, it's why it's not running right now. I'm going to monitor that just to make sure that it does not send more bees up here, because I should get 2 drones out of here pretty regularly, fairly regularly, so I want to make sure that it doesn't try to load both drones back in there. I don't think it will. In my test server, or my test case, it did not do it. I need more apiaries pipes to actually make this a little bit cleaner, but for now it'll do because I only have 1. I need more honey, more propolis. What I'm going to start doing, though, is messing around with those extra princesses. And you can see I did get a cultivated drone, but I really want a cultivated princess. So I'm going to have to keep messing around with this princess and try to get her to just to turn into a cultivated. And then I'm going to try to work with that to get an industrious line. The industrious line will produce honeycombs and propolis just in the apiary itself. So that's obviously a much better way to get the propolis fairly regularly. So I'm going to be working on that. I'll be back when I get more propolis to try to automate this thing a little further. Hold on, guys. Alright, so after lots of screwing around and doing test worlds and stuff like that to get this thing to work correctly, I had to change, first of all, the way I did this automation, okay? The apiarist pipe cannot tell if the apiary is full of bees unless it's actually touching it. And so you can see I moved the apiarist pipe to down here and moved the system to work like this. So the way it works is any bee goes up the white line here until the apiarist is full. It has 1 drone and 1 princess. The extra drone is sent down the anything line here, which is also where combs go. And then they filter down the iron pipe here, which make sure you right-click this thing and send it to the clear side here to make sure that your iron pipe's working correctly, or you're going to have a really bad time. It's not going to sort. Things are going to pop out all over the floor. Now, that's not the only thing we have to do. So in this line, we have bees and combs, okay, and whatever else it's pulling out. We have to split it up here between bees and items. So you can see this apiarist pipe is set up to send all bees to blue and all items to green. Okay, so blue goes off to this relay and green goes off to this. Now, this relay is going to be all of our processing. I've decided to move the processing downstairs. You can see I've actually set up a bunch of stuff and the recorder didn't work, so I didn't get it recorded, but I'm going to talk to you about it now. So this will be the processing line, and this will be the line that collects all bees for now. We have something we want to do with bee genetics, but we aren't ready to do that yet. That'll probably be the next episode, or maybe in a few episodes we'll get genetics working. So what we've got here is a chest with a manager on it that's going to supply me keep me supplied with 10 honey drops at all times. That's what that guy's going to do, because I need those honey drops to run my beealyzer. I can't squeeze all my honey or I'll never be able to run my beealyzer, which would be a bad thing. So you can see it's hooked up to this red power system, tube system there. I don't have power hooked up to it yet. I will have to do that soon. Over here, I've got the production system set up with the centrifuge, just like I did up top there, and the squeezer right next to it. And I've already got the squeezer line hooked up to the iron tank. Worked out perfectly that it hooked up with 2 liquid ducts like that. So the rest of this system is going to be a little bit more complicated. Let me get my jet back on here. It's going to take 4 managers down here, and you'll see why. This is a really sweet setup. It's very easy to manage. I guess that's why it's called the manager. So it's pretty awesome little setup. A little bit expensive, but pretty nice. We're going to need 2 managers on the centrifuge, and then 2 managers also on the squeezer. And that's because these the forestry items like to create a lot of extra items, the bonus materials and stuff like that, and so you have to pull those out from specific areas. Like for the squeezer, anything coming in the side will go here in these slots, and anything at this slot here needs to be pulled out of the top. So that's why I've got the top one here, and I've got the side one. This one will supply honey, and it will be the regular honey supplier in the system. And this one will just pull anything out of the top there, which is pretty much going to be propolis. So you can see that's why I have two managers. This one will keep 10 honey supplied at all times to that chest and send the rest of the honey down this manager and into the squeezer. So now onto the centrifuge. The centrifuge is going to be the pretty much the spot where all combs come in here. Now the way those are going to come in is into the top. I'm going to have all the combs that I have in my system into the manager. I'm going to put one of each. So I'll put one honeycomb in now. So I'll have to add any other combs that I'm producing in my system into this manager, and it will send all honeycombs directly into the centrifuge here. What I might need to do though, since this will be busy, is put a, oh, you know what? I probably do need to put a relay here. I don't expect them to come in very quickly. The centrifuge should be able to handle it, but we might want to put another item here. Let's see. Maybe a relay here to make sure that there's a buffer. That might be a good idea. So let's put that relay in so it'll eject down into the bottom when there's space. That means our manager is going to have to go one higher here. You could use a filter to do this, because a filter will filter items into this system here, but the problem with it is it only has 9 spaces, and that's not going to be enough, so we don't want to do that. You know, we might as well use the same thing on this manager. Well, we can't. So how am I going to power this? That's a good question. I might have to put a couple of bat boxes here just to get the power to run up there and not have to worry about it too much. That is going to be interesting. I guess technically I could put it over here. I could run it like this. Let's see. I thought I had this thing all worked out, but apparently not. Well, I could do that, because I'm going to have my bluetricity running up right here. I already hooked up the power conduits down here underneath those forestry engines. So I'm going to have it run up this way. It's going to connect to there and there. Okay, I guess I could bring it over to there. Okay, so that'll work. Not the prettiest system, but again, you know, it's very compact and it manages itself very well. So let's get these hooked up to the system here. I'm probably going to want to bring these down here. Let's see. That's just a temporary storage, just to, because I've already got this apiary automated, so it's going to be sending lots of combs and stuff down this direction. But I might want to take that into the wall and bring it underneath and bring it up to right here. That could be kind of cool. So I'm going to want to do something like this. Now I'm going to run into the bluetricity pretty soon. Yeah, right there. But that's okay. Let's see. Let's dig into the wall right here. Yeah, see, the bluetricity is going to want to... Oh, well, you know what? Let's just go around. The bluetricity can go this way. It's going to be a little bit wider here. There we go. Cool. Okay. So this pipe system can just come down right here. Let's see. I think here works. Let's go look at that real quick. See what it looks like on this side. Yeah, that works. Actually, it would one higher would be a little bit better, because then I won't have to use covers. I don't mind using covers. I just don't, you know, if I don't have to use them, I'd rather not use them actually. Wait a minute. Yeah, right there. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, so run it down this direction. Again, we will be removing that that chest eventually here. Actually, probably want it to come over to here, don't we? This could be a slightly long episode, but I really want to get this automation done so that I don't have to worry about honey production anymore. I just want it to be finished. So we're going to bring it down to... Oh no, that was what we wanted to do, because we're going to bring bluetricity this direction. That's right. That's why we did that. Okay, well, let's just fix that up and put some dirt. I'll fill this all in later. We don't need to worry about that now. Okay, so we're going to bring it down this direction. Oh, nope, not that. That is not going to be a good idea. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's all hooked up. Now, while we're back here, we don't have our alloy cable or wire. It's in this chest. All right, now we're also going to need these restriction tubes, and I'll show you why in a minute. We might as well get these out, and that's it. That should be our entire item system there. So let's hook up the electricity really quick here. And we're not going to hook it up to, remember what I said, if you didn't watch the red power video, sorting with red power managers, that's where I kind of explain how they work, is that you set the last thing you do in your system is hook up the managers, because they can get really screwed up. They'll start pumping items all through your system and can corrupt your files. So that's a current bug in the system until it gets fixed. Just be careful with managers. Hook them up last, once they're all configured. So we've got our processing pipe coming down here, and this should filter all the items into our system. And we got that. Okay, that's connected, and we need connections up to this area right here. Let's see. And oh, we're gonna have to bring the wire there. Oh, that's okay. I have to go over it anyway. Again, like I said, this is gonna be kind of a weird, messed up system. I'm gonna need a cover there though. So let's get a cover out. I don't want it to connect to the side of a manager. It will pump items in and change the filtering of the manager. So we obviously do not want it to do that. We want a cover right there. No, not there. There, dude. All right. So now the pipe tube will not touch. There we go. So that's all hooked up. All of our managers are hooked up. Again, it looks slightly funky, but trust me, it works very well. Here, we don't want anything. That's just going to pull anything out. This is going to be only honey. So let's go get honey. Didn't I already get a honey out of here? Some honey out of here? Maybe I didn't. Let's get one honey out of this. I'm down to 10 honey drops because I've been processing it all. And that's really why that chest is so important. You don't want to process all your honey. So honey is going to go this direction, and it's the default path for honey. Okay, so what do we want over here? This one just pulls any processed items out, so it can just be pull out anything. In fact, because that's a much more compact system than using, if I use a wooden pipe, I'd have to convert it, and it'd be a pain in the ass, so I just used a manager there. This one is going to inject combs, right? So it should be the default path for these honeycombs. All right, I think we're ready to go. Probably want to break that because, oh, what are we going to do when they process? Now we need to get them to process. So when after they process, I'm going to want them to run down this direction right here. And that's going to be through a restriction tube. So how do we want that to work? Probably go back down through the system here. That'd be kind of sweet. Don't really need to show it, do we? It can probably pop out right about there. Let's see. Pop out there. Let's make a little space here. Get it. Okay. All right, so let's hook up this tube with our tube system here. Probably could do it right there, can't we? Let's make some workspace up here and jetpack up. All right. Let's clear this out. I think this is where it's going to go, all the way down our default line here. So this is basically going to be where stuff moves once it's processed. So what we're going to want to do is put a restriction tube here to say, look, this is the last direction you want to go. After if there's no other places to go here last. So then we're going to put this in like so. And I probably want to fill this in now because I don't think I'll be able to do it later. So let's get some dirt in here. Gotta get going pretty soon. We're about to do another Eater of Worlds here. But I want to get this thing done. It actually kept me up at night. I was trying to do this at night, and then I woke up in the morning and I was trying to sleep and I couldn't sleep because I was just thinking about how to do this. So I just had to finish this up. Okay, so we're going to be able to cover that too. It's going to look kind of sweet. And we want to put more dirt here. And finally birch to get this thing pretty much covered up. I will pretty it up in a little bit. But that's going to be where it exits there. Alright, let's see. So it's going to come up this direction, and we're going to have a much better system, but for now this will be fine. We're going to have a couple of barrels here, which means we don't need this floor to be open. Let's put the barrels here. We should only expect pretty much propolis and beeswax is all we're going to get at first. And then, no, not a barrel. We want that. Okay. Another pipe. And finally, another restriction tube. So the last thing that should happen is items should end up in our default chest here after they've been through this area here. Now I'm gonna get this one hooked up with beeswax. We're probably gonna have to hook this up. I don't think we have any propolis. Well, it'll be fine. It'll hook itself up. We're gonna have to fix that though when our first piece of propolis comes out of the system. You know what? We don't need this, do we? There we go. It's a little bit nicer. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. It's really not that hard, not that difficult to set the system up. It's really just about getting the managers and getting the managers hooked up correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and start allowing the honeycombs to process into that relay. So there we go. Now they should process into the relay. In fact, let's put one in here. I'll just put a honeycomb in here. I don't know. Let's just put one. So it should shoot it out, and it goes down into our processing system. Oh, it went down the wrong pipe. I think it went down... Where'd it go? Is it in here? It's not in the centrifuge. Uh-oh. That is not what we want. It went in here. That is not good. It shouldn't be doing that. I did set up restriction tube there, right? Yeah, why is it going down that path? Oh, no, it should still go down. That can't be a shorter path. Honeycombs, and oh, these aren't set up. I have to set up the power to the managers. It doesn't know what to manage because it's not powered. So let's put one there. Let's get these managers hooked up. And we're going to want something like this. And, oh, it won't do that. Should do that, right? Okay, cool. And it won't do that either? Okay, it'll do that. It looks a little crazy, but hey, we got to get these things powered. So now it should pull the honeycombs down. Let's go pull those out of that barrel up there. Okay. Let's fill it up with a honeycomb, and it should now process down. There we go. All right, so this is working. Perfect, perfect. It's a little slow. A mag tube might be nice, but it doesn't matter how fast this system is. It just, all that matters is it processes correctly. So it's going to come up, go right into, let's see, oh, it saw it in the relay shot it down. Now, the relay will hold on to items if this is full with some other kind of item. So, okay, it pulled the honey out. Okay, cool. The honey went into the squeezer. Exactly what we wanted. And the honey went into the tank. No propolis came out, but that's fine. The beeswax should have headed back up this line because it doesn't have anywhere to go. Did it go somewhere else? Let's go look. Because it shouldn't be going in here, because that's honey only. And it can't go here because this has nothing. Alright, let's look at where this sucker went. No. Oops. Okay, this just pulls everything out. So, and this is honey only, or honeycombs. That's interesting. And this is, okay. Where'd the beeswax go? Oh, it was just taking its time. There it is. All right, so that's working perfect. This system is done. This is it. We're finished. It's working great. Now, I didn't get to show you this propolis because you actually have to have a propolis generate in there before it to pull out, and I can't put a propolis into the top of this system. So that's going to do it. I'm just going to kind of fill in the system here and get everything all nice and prettied up, and that's going to do it for this system. Let me know what you think. I think this is pretty awesome. I'm really happy with it. It looks a little strange down here with this wiring set up the way it is, and I'll probably figure out a way to change that so it doesn't look so funky. But for now, that's the way it's going to look. I might have it come up here. That might be a better option. But I'm going to do that off camera. Let me know what you think about the system. Now our bees are automated completely with us collecting a whole bunch of honey to do the next piece, which is the genetic stuff that we're going to be doing. And these bees get collected in the indexer. So I'm sure that's going to stack up fairly quickly. So cool. Let me know what you think. And this is going to do it for this episode. See you later, guys.